Hello, I'm the Smeghead, and today I'll be talking about Disney's Home on the Range. But before we do that, it's story time! So one day I was at a house party. My friends and I were sitting around in our usual drunken stupor when somebody noticed a DVD sitting on the floor. And that DVD was Disney's Home on the Range. We're not sure how it got there because it was pretty clear from the box art that it was a kids' movie, and nobody that lived in that house had children. None of us had ever seen this movie. In fact, none of us had even heard of it. Which would make sense if it was some cheap direct-to-DVD flick, but this was a big-budget animated Disney film with a worldwide theatrical release. And none of us had heard of it. Now that right there should have set off a red flag, because as Oscar Wilde once said, the only thing worse than being talked about is not being talked about. But we decided, what the hell, let's watch it anyway. Again, we'd been drinking pretty heavily at the time. We didn't get all the way through the movie. There was a point where it just became way too stupid, even for the booze to handle, and we all gave up. And I think the same thought was going through every one of our minds. What the fuck happened to Disney? And the same thought will be going through your mind in just a few moments. So after opening with a rather forgettable song and some animated slapstick that has absolutely nothing to do with the story, we're introduced to our heroine, Maggie, a former show cow voiced by Roseanne Barr. That's right, Roseanne is playing the role of a fat cow. Don't you just love it when the jokes write themselves?
Yeah, they're real. Quit staring.
This is a kid's movie, right? Anyway, all is not well in Maggie's world, as her previous owner is giving her away to the Patch of Heaven dairy farm since he can no longer afford to keep her. Apparently, there is an extremely effective cattle rustler by the name of Alameda Slim,
It's funny because he's fat.
who's been stealing everyone's cattle and forcing the ranchers into bankruptcy. More on him later, but first, another pointless song.
I know a place, pretty as pie, where the river...
Because God forbid we should go more than 2 minutes without a song. Now let me make one thing perfectly clear. I am not opposed to musicals, provided the effort is actually made to put together some well-done, memorable songs. Disney has certainly proven to be capable of this in the past.
Mr. Aladdin, sir, what will your pleasure be?
Let me take your order, jot it down.
You ain't never had a friend like me.
But the music in this movie is just... I don't know, it's just kinda there. It's not good, it's not bad. It exists. So Maggie makes her grand entrance and... The hell? She has her own entrance music? Is she a show cow or a pro wrestler?
If you smell what the rock is cooking. The rock says, the rock says.
You're the biggest cow I've ever saw.
Again, I love it when the jokes write themselves. After making her entrance, we learn that Maggie is a show cow because of her special talent for eating large amounts of food and belching uncontrollably. I do that every day, no one gives me any awards for it. We're also introduced to a metric shit ton of forgettable characters, so we'll just focus on the important ones, who also happen to be cows. Imagine that. There's Grace, who's a bit of a hippie.
Now, let's not play the shame and blame game. This is an organic problem, and there's a holistic solution.
And obviously voiced by Jennifer Tilly, and Mrs. Calloway, kinda the matriarch of the farm.
Why can't you? The call of duty. Why don't you handle this one, Grace?
No, that can't be who I'm thinking of. Can it? Sorry, I gotta check the credits real quick. This will only take a second. Okay, let's see. Oh my god! It is Judi Dench! Dame Judy, what are you doing here? You have a career! Can't believe I'm saying this, but Chronicles of Riddick was a step up. And while we're focused on her character, why is she called Mrs. Calloway? I don't see any other cows around there. shouldn't there be a Mr. Calloway somewhere if she's a Mrs. Oh! Oh. Awkward. So anyway, it looks like Patch of Heaven is also...
Really?
Wait, what?
Thanks, Miss.
Bubble? What? How? What? Where? Bubble? Is the hay laced with bubble gum? How does that work? Just... ugh. Oh, man. Ugh. Sorry, I need my headache medicine. Ugh. I think I'm okay now. But I'm gonna keep this nearby just in case. As I was saying before I was interrupted by my head nearly exploding, it turns out Patch of Heaven is also in financial trouble and is just days from foreclosure. So Maggie says they should try to win some money at the county fair, and she and Grace decide to head into town. Mrs. Calloway objects at first, but the chicks convince her to go.
I'll go.
What made you change your mind?
I'd rather not talk about it.
It's a chick thing.
Oh, did I mention this movie is loaded with bad puns and one-liners?
It's no use crying over spilled milk. What is this, the frozen food section? What's her specialty? Sour cream?
Well, if it isn't Three Maids a Milkin'.
Well, if it isn't the Phony Express.
Let me guess, you're a tourist.
Stick around.
Okay, that last one was from a different movie, but you get the idea. So the cows make their way to the town of Chugwater. Along the way, we learn that Grace is completely tone deaf.
She better hurry up around that mountain, because I cannot take this much longer.
Every once in a while, they throw in a line that's actually funny. Upon their arrival, they run into a horse named Buck, who belongs to the local sheriff and has big dreams of becoming a crime-fighting hero.
So you think you got the drop on me? Well, think again.
Oh no, Cuba Gooding Jr., you too? I hope Disney paid them well for their dignity. Anyway, the cows have a talk with Buck, who tells them the money they could earn at the county fair won't come close to the $750 they need to save the farm. But the cows get another idea when they spy a wanted poster for Alameda Slim. Apparently, the reward for his capture is $750. Oh, how goddamn convenient. But it looks like they have some competition from a famous bounty hunter known as...
Rico.
Where's my money?
Here, take it. Just don't hurt me. So Rico borrows Buck from the sheriff, and the two ride off in search of Alameda Slim. Meanwhile, the cows somehow hitch a ride to a nearby cattle drive so they can catch Slim in the act. When they arrive, they're hit on by a couple of bulls.
They seem like nice guys. Maybe they can help us.
Sure we can help you. Maybe we can help each other.
This is an awful lot of sexual harassment for a Disney movie. Is anyone else a bit creeped out by this?